orchestrated Jokester.
And Leon, what's your last name?
Pearly. Leon Pearly. P-U-R-L-E-Y. Yes. Like the pearly gates.
Pearly Gates. About a minute here, and we'll get right on. Yep, and then that guy, that'll be about good right there, actually. As long as you just kind of stop and talk right to it. They pick up a good amount of noise.
Your favorite shows with just the sound of your voice, right?
I guess, yeah.
And you don't have to put up with buffering when you stream.
That's true.
Plus, you lock your doors, turn lights on and off, and turn up the heat, all from your phone.
Yeah, I do all those things.
Well then, who's to say you're not cool?
Wow, I guess I'm cool.
That's right. Now go on, be your cool self.
I have to go tell my mom.
I'll allow it. Get Contour TV, 100 meg internet, home life automation, and a whole lot of oh yeah from Cox. All for just $99.99 a month for 12 months. Learn more at Cox.com.
Ends 4/1/19. For new residential customers, $20 per month, more for months 13 through 24. Includes 1 terabyte data usage per month. Free install for self-install only. 2-year service agreement required. Early termination fees apply. Excludes video surcharges up to $15.50 a month, depending on Cox Market Tech.
Hey, good morning. We're back here on the Mighty 690 KGGF on this Friday as we're joined in studio with worker at Word of Faith Church. It's Richard Vann and Melanie Vann as well. Richard on the microphone over here as well, joined in studio by guest Leon Pearly. Gentlemen, good morning. Glad to have you in studio.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, indeed. We've got a fun thing coming up, I believe, next weekend, not this weekend, so plenty of times to kind of plan around, get your weekend all planned out, and get yourself go over there. So real quick here. We got a comedy night with a pasta dinner coming up next weekend, November 17th, at the church here in Coffeyville, the Word of Faith Church, at 2707 South Walnut, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, real quick, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of it, this is the first one. This is the first one.
Yes,
hopefully, again, it becomes kind of an annual type of thing. But where was the inspiration behind it? What kind of led you guys to doing it?
Well, you know, I actually was in a situation where I was going through a transition in my own personal life. I lost a job in 2012 and found myself in a situation where I had to figure something out as far as my living and what I was going to be doing next. And I ended up going through a crisis moment where I had to get on my knees and pray. And by the time I got there, I heard a few things. I heard faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And that set my course in my whole entire life and turned everything upside down. And so all of a sudden, for the next 5 years, I find myself truly falling in love, not only with people, but also with a God. And so by the time I got here, everything just came together. And we were actually awarded some buildings that we were trying to move here and trying to get children who are going through a crisis moment where they need to be and be able to get the life skills and things they need to be able to sustain themselves in any position in life. And so that was my inspiration, is after I lost my job and got to where I needed to be.
Yeah, well, it's rather inspiring to hear kind of the basis behind it, because, you know, life it's not as beautiful as the Facebook and Instagrams may show it to be nowadays. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you do need an extra helping hand, whatever it may be, whether it's financially, whether it's right. Subtle things like getting a meal for Christmas time or getting a meal for Thanksgiving, whatever it may be, passing that love and compassion to other people. That's where the inspiration comes. And again, that right there is what's going to keep this in the community for a long, long time. So we got the comedy night and pasta dinner again, and you can't have a comedy night without a comedic act, and that's exactly who we got over here. We got Leon Pearly. Leon, the jokester. You're the headlining on that day, so has comedy always kind of been a thing for you?
Yeah, pretty much, man. And first of all, thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
By way of Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. But yeah, comedy has always been in my blood. But professionally, I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and so just me and my tour manager, Kevin Whitaker, we've just been getting at it, man.
There you go.
It's a blessing to be out here in Coffeyville.
I love it. Now I got to ask, how did you and Richard kind of get together and make this event happen?
Yeah, basically, man, social media. Yeah,
There you go.
and just divine encounters, man. It was just the perfect timing. And yeah, he reached out to me online, and it was a done deal. It's like, I'm there, I'm going to Kansas, man, Jayhawks. So
There you go.
done deal.
Rock John JR. Hey, and Richard, was there anything that kind of stood out that you wanted, man? This guy Leon really kind of speaks for what I'm hearing. I want him at my thing. What was the inspiration to bring Leon aboard? Because he said you guys had some good meetings before this became a thing.
Yeah, it's funny that you asked. We were actually looking for a comedian for our event, and so I had done this before. I've done an event in Texas, but and had some comedians there, but we wanted something a little bit different. Because it is at the church, we kind of wanted the show to be a little more clean than normal. And then so as we were reaching out, it was actually my wife who was online and said she saw Leon and said, you know what, this is it, this is the guy. And so we kind of sought out some things and talked to him. She sent him a message, and the message that came back was one of inspiration, one of love. He was like, I want to be there, I'm going to be there. It wasn't about money. It was really truly about him wanting to serve and being a part of what we have going on here in Coffeyville.
It starts from the top. It starts from the top. And when you display that message that this is about helping people and love and spreading that it goes down through it, and even the talent on the stage, it goes in with that. So that's a little bit cleaner than maybe your regular trip to the comic club. But I'll tell you what, it should be a fun night. So let's get into a little bit of the details here. It's starting Saturday, November 17th. But really, when does the event kind of get kicked off and things like that?
Well, really, the event does get kicked off on the 17th. Right now what we're doing is we're going door to door, business to business, meeting as many people as we possibly can. And really what this is about is not so much just about the comedy night, but really the information about helping others and those who are in need. We really don't have a place on this earth if we don't have somebody there besides us, no matter what. And so what we're trying to do is get the word out about the needs that need to be met for the children that are going through a crisis or going through something that's a struggle for them in life. And sometimes it's not always because they're being abused. It's not always because they haven't found their way. They just need somebody to kind of help steer them and inspire them to be more than what they are. And so we're reaching out to everybody in the community.
And sometimes, for me personally, it was one conversation. It kind of scared me straight. And it got me on the path where I'm at now. It was one conversation that I had with a friend, lifelong friend, and to this day, probably owe him my life for it.
Right.
It's one conversation, or it's one meeting, or it's one, show like this to where you get it kind of opens your eyes, and then again you extend your arms even more, and then you help back and give back to the community. Now, tickets. What is the cost on the tickets?
The tickets are $20 a person. We haven't talked about anything else as far as maybe changing the prices for the college students. But I would like to say today that we will go down to $15 for the college students just so that they can make it, because we know they're in college, we know that they have bills and things like that, and they're trying to make it. So today for the college students, we're going to bring that down to $15 for them, and then everyone else, it would be $20 a ticket.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if there is a specific fund, but I know you guys are kind of, going back to those kids in need. Where is the majority? Is there a fund set up, or is it kind of you guys directing it through the church?
Yeah, we are directing it through the church, but the fund is actually, we were awarded 2 buildings. One building is a 9,000 square foot building that's coming out of Tulsa that we're having moved here. And another one is another building that's going to be on the Oklahoma side. And then the other one is another building that's coming from Kansas City, Missouri. And it's a 3,200 square foot building that we're actually going to hopefully put right directly on the Kansas side near the church right there. And so we're gathering monies to be able to have those things moved here so that we can service the kids in this area.
And again, just kind of even spreading it beyond Coffeyville as well.
Right,
Because like
exactly.
you said, down in Oklahoma, kind of in the entire SEK region and such. So very, very neat with that. And you get some food involved as well. I'm sure the money goes with that.
Absolutely. The pasta is going to be out of this world. Some
That's
people.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
I came for the food. Get the jokes.
They've always said, you feed them, they'll come. And so, the pasta is something that I'm actually going to be putting together. They call me Chef Rich out of Texas. And so It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be, kind of the Italian style, but we're putting the pesto, cilantro. It's going to have some chicken. We're going to have the regular Italian spaghetti and meatballs, and so with the bread and salad and dessert. And so we're going to just make this thing the best that we possibly can to be able to serve the community the best that we can.
Like you said, when you got some good food and you got a chef's name behind you, you're going to be bringing people in by the flocks, no doubt about. So tickets-wise here, if anyone's interested, how can they get a ticket?
Right now, you can go to hoperestoredforyouth.org, and that's where we're going to have the tickets there for sale. That should be up and running by the end of the day today. And so, if you're interested, you can go to hoperestoredforyouth.org and be able to purchase your tickets right there online, and also be able to print your ticket online. And if you don't have a computer or a phone, you'll be able to come directly to the church and be able to pick up your tickets there as well.
We're going to make it streamlined, make it easy, and I'll tell you what, people won't be missing that, no doubt about it. So hopefully, again, this turns into an annual thing. It's coming up next Saturday, the 17th at 6 p.m. at the Word of Faith Church here in Coffeyville. So Leon, I wanted to ask you a couple of things here because for listeners that don't know, Leon made his way in here, I believe, legally blind. Correct?
Yes,
legally blind.
Yes.
And again, I'm always amazed the way that you can navigate ways around. It's like we're having a normal conversation. There is no differences. But growing up, along with this organization that you guys have, I'm sure you had your struggles, and you can kind of admit to that. Having that one person by your side is a big difference maker.
Yes. Well, 3 years ago I was diagnosed. It's hereditary, but it's an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa, and basically I lose sight like every month. Like it's just like a slow death. And so instead of being woe is me and giving up on life, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and impact lives and inspire people. And obviously the proof of that is now I'm in Coffeyville, Kansas, by way of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So like I'm not stopping. I told the news stations this last year that this is what I want to do with comedy, and so like let's go reach the people. And so
that is, I'll tell you what, just an inspiring interview from top to bottom here with Richard, your story and background and everything like that, and then Leon. It's unfortunate that you've been given the cards that you're dealt and having to deal with something. So with that, you said monthly. Do you kind of regain it?
No. The older I get,
the
less I lose. So it is what it is, man. But it's cool though, man. Because look at Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and now Leon the Jokester, man. So
and look at the smile on your face. I wish the radio could really kind of transcribe that as well. There's a difference in the positivity. I thought I had bad days. This guy puts me to shame.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, all right. So again, is there, it's at the church and everything like that, but everyone age-wise, you said, we're try and keep this as PG as possible, because normally comedic, there's some slanderous things that might be said within that, but are all ages kind of welcome here?
All ages are welcome, and we want to just have a good time. So bring your family, bring the kids, and have fun. We'll have music going on in the background, and so I might even get up and do something, but you just never know. We're going to just have a great time and really just to inspire the people. We're just here to help the community and in this area.
Yeah, I love that. Now, Leon, with your jokes that you're going to be telling, again, you guys kind of were saying that it was a lot about spreading the messages. Or do you have those kind of messages hidden in with the jokes, or is it kind of a separate entity to the show that you kind of give, like, oh, here's the message of why we're here, and now I'm gonna make you laugh?
Yeah, it's very inspirational. Growing up in California, living in Oklahoma, it's just sharing, my upbringing. I was raised in the church, and shout out to my mom, Pat Purley, for raising me at the church. And, you know what I'm saying? But seriously, all I want to do is just kind of share my story. I think every comic comes with a different, style, and with my style is very self-deprecating and observational. So basically, whatever I've experienced in my life, I'm gonna share that with the crowd and come ready to laugh.
I love it. Those are always, the easiest comedic sketch for me to follow are the ones that are kind of told like a story, from beginning to the end, and you don't break it up into segments. So I like that. You're going to mix in the messages with your jokes, kind of things like that. Man, I enjoy it. Leon, so originally from California.
Yes.
What brought you out to Oklahoma?
Oh, Oral Roberts University.
Okay.
Yeah, just doing the college thing, man. And, you know, even though I owe about $100,000 in student loans.
Don't we all?
And the crazy part is I've never seen Sally Mae.
Yeah.
Like literally, I've never seen her.
I
So,
have never seen that girl
Never
come
seen
around,
her,
and I owe
man.
her quite a bit of money.
Right.
Quite a bit of money. All right. So real quick, as we're coming up here to the bottom of the hour again, we got Leon Purley here. Leon the Jokester, the guy on the stage headlining the comedy night and pasta dinner, and Richard Vann as well, organizer with Word of Faith Church. Richard, real quick for the listeners just kind of tuning in, let's just go ahead and give them the full outline again. Where's it happening? When's it happening? And kind of what it's all about.
Okay, it's going to be at the Word of Faith Church, 2707 South Walnut in Coffeyville, Kansas. And we're going to be having a comedy night and pasta dinner. Tickets are going to be $15 for the colleges, students, and then $20 for adults. And our headliner again is going to be Leon the Jokester, which his tour is called Walk by Faith, Not by Sight. And so we're pulling out all plugs. We're going to go in like we don't know what else to do but laugh and have a good time and to have some good food. It is going to be good. I'm telling you, you've got to be there for the food because it's just going down. So thank you so much.
Hey, of course, and again, you know, the ability to kind of turn a situation, the cards that you're dealt into, you know, comedic twist with what your tour is headlined and called Walk by Faith, Not by Sight tour. Quite literally. Quite literally. All right, so that's Leon Purley as well as Melanie and Richard Vann here in with us in studio as Richard, Leon, thanks so much, guys.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
This is the Mighty 690 KGGF. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Fox News. Hundreds of people came out for a legal in California.